Hey, you guys, you are hanging with Langan. How are you today? Good to be with all of you. Before I begin the show, you know what? I just have to, hanging with Langan is a respite from all the craziness. You know that. So I want to be serious in a moment, just for a minute. What I need you folks to do, because I want to be able to get your comments on StreamYard. I've moved from Zoom, which made my head want to explode. I'm on StreamYard. I'm loving it, but there's there's a learning curve on certain things. What I need you to do, a lot of you commented yesterday. I could read your comments, but I couldn't see your name or your little profile pic, and I want to see your beautiful faces. What I'm going to tell you to do right here, look at this. All you have to do is give me permission to see you. So you go to streamyard.com/Facebook. It's right there on the screen. Are you seeing it? I'm seeing if you guys, if you're seeing me there. No, I want to see if you're seeing me on Facebook. It says we're going live. Are you seeing me, you guys? I am not seeing this going live. I want to make sure. Sometimes there's a delay. I'm not seeing it. So you know what? This hasn't happened before. Ah, there we are. Very good. All right. What is happening? There's a timer. All right, you guys. This is what I want to do. I want to be able to see you. I want to see your faces. I do see your comments. I am not seeing who these comments are coming from. So what I'd like you to do is just go to StreamYard and give me permission to see you. StreamYard.com/Facebook. See it right there on the screen. StreamYard.com/Facebook. There'll be a blue button right there. Click, done. There we go. And then I get to see you, okay? And I will repeat that later, but I can see your comments certainly on the .com, like when I use my phone or my computer, but it's too much. Nobody got time for that. So good. Now, I'm going to be serious just for a moment because I used to be a reporter, a journalist, all of that. And I covered a lot of serious news, and it would just sear my soul because, kids dying, brutality out there. It's just too much. But I cannot ignore what's going on out there, you guys. And I was watching the riots last night. I'm watching the tweets that if you loot, we shoot. The whole thing is so heartbreaking to me, which is why I created the show. So we do have a respite from all of it. But just something, I'm going to get on my soapbox for a moment. I heard this morning a reverend from Zionist Baptist Church in Minneapolis say, when Kaepernick took a knee, nobody wanted to listen. But when a cop puts a knee, and listen, I have cops in my family, so I know that there are a lot of great cops out there. But when a bad one and his friends watch a knee on the throat of a man, that's like the cop doesn't listen. He keeps his knee there. So now we have riots. And Martin Luther King said, riots are a language of the unheard. So let's just listen to each other. What's the big deal? If somebody takes a friggin' knee, why are you doing that? What's precipitating that? What are your feelings behind it? What are your experiences? I don't know what another's experiences are. And I don't pretend as a white woman to have to deal with any of that. But I do know as a woman, and this is not equal comparison, but I know at night or jogging alone, I'm always looking to make sure there's people around for my safety, because as a woman, there are predators out there, not in the same way by any means. So just, if somebody takes a knee as protest, don't be outraged that they're doing it. Go, what is that about? Because when you're not heard, then you up the ante, and now we're in the middle of a friggin' nightmare. So anyway, I just had to go on my soapbox for a minute, because you know what, when people say, oh, you bleeding heart, my heart bleeds when I watch people dying. So I think that's what you're supposed to do. All right, off the soapbox, off of it. Respite, disappear, compartmentalize. Choom. I want to let you know that this show is brought to you by Bitten by a Zebra, Design and Photography. Bitten by a Zebra. Bob Johnson, he is the owner of that company, fantastic graphics. He does a lot of my work, a photographer, a website designer. So reach out to him. He's fun, he's hip. He does boudoir photography for those of you into that. If I had a flat stomach, maybe. Okay, so I want to let you know that. And I want to thank all of you for supporting this show. I started my own shop. I'm a shopkeeper now. And that's what I do now. I'm a shopkeeper virtually. But I have all these Don't Make Me Hate You products, like I don't want to hate people. They make me hate them. I'm a victim. So you can go to my store and see all of these Don't Make Me Hate You products. Look at that. I have masks for those, you go up to somebody like you have your mask. You're like, don't make me hate you. T-shirts, clocks, baby onesies. Look at that. Coasters. I don't know do I have glasses? Apparently I do. I have mugs, notebooks, journals. Anyway, shower curtains. My friend Bob, he's nuts. He goes, items pictured are not the actual size. Well, we know that, but he's being silly. Again, I want to see your comments. You got to give me permission to see the comment with your face and a name. So to do that, StreamYard.com/Facebook, just click on the blue button, done. I will see your comments here on my phone, but I see Terry, Laura, Randy. So I appreciate that. Go to StreamYard.com, okay, /Facebook. Now I want to get to it. Very happy to, on Fridays, usually I do once a week Hell Gigs. And what I like to do is bring on 2 comics that I've worked with. Some of them I've worked with a lot. Some of them I'm acquainted with. I love to scratch the surface and find out who they are, what they're about. I've had the pleasure of working with Vinnie Mark. And Vinnie, I'm going to bring him up right now. Vinnie is a comic, and he also books comics. So you've been on both sides of the dynamic, Vinnie Mark.
Yes, correct.
Oops, you're still muted. Stand by. So I want to get like your perspective from both. I'm going to bring in another comic. I have worked with this fellow at New York Comedy Club. I met him years ago. We see each other at Broadway Comedy Club in New York City. I would love to say with love that he is a piece of work. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Barry Ribb right here. Out on the streets of, I don't know where. Are you out in the streets of Brooklyn? We're playing around with the technology here today, so bear with us. Barry, there you are, sweetheart. Can you hear us?
Come in, Barry.
You know something?
What,
I
Barry?
hear you. I see you both. And perhaps on my end or whatever, but there's no crackling, but
We're going to do the best we can with you, Barry. I think what's happening here is you're on the streets of Brooklyn or New York. I don't know where you are. You're on the streets somewhere. You had a drama yesterday. We didn't have time for you to explain it. We didn't have the Oprah moment before we went on. But are you able to hear us or not? Because if not, we can have you back another time. I just love if you could be a part of this today. I'm going to take that as a definite maybe.
I hear you.
All right.
I hear you, and
you raised me.
I hear you. I wish I've heard you by and large, but for some reason, it's not a perfect situation. So if you believe, you can blame it on my phone.
All right, sweetheart, where are you right now? All right.
We have storms. We have storms rolling through my area right now. I was afraid what's happening to him was going to happen to me.
No, it's all good. We're going to move you on. No, it's all good. I love you. We're going to get you another time because we can't hear you, sweetheart. And I love you to bits and pieces. I wanted to find out how he opens for D.L. Hughley. He's a little bit gangster, but I want to know why. I want to learn all about Barry. So
he got bumped from the hanging with Langan.
He what? He got bumped.
He got bumped.
I'm sorry. I love the guy. He's so cool.
He sounded great for what
he's a great guy. So, okay. So here's the deal. What I want to talk to you about, Vinnie.
Yeah.
So let's learn about you. You are a comic originally from
Long Island, New York. Yeah. I was one of the Long Island guys.
When did you start?
Started in when did I start in the comedy clubs was 1980, 79, 80 with the East Side Comedy Club and Richard M. Dixon's. Back in those days, started back then. But I was, remember, a child performer doing magic as a kid.
I remember. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I thought you knew that. You never read any of my books?
No, I didn't read I'm sorry.
I'm like, but I think I was at the age of 13, 14, I was performing in Knights of Columbus halls, American Legion halls, doing magic shows. It was like really unbelievable. So, I started block parties when I was a kid, doing all of that stuff. So, go ahead.
So you've been doing it straight through since you were...
Yeah, since I was little. I started magic when I was 7 and then always doing magic. But I guess performing and getting paid, I think I was 13 or 14 years old. Yeah.
So did
And
your parents just go, get up there? You're going. You get on the stage now.
no, it was very weird. I was always a mimic. Actually, probably should have been an an impersonator or something, because I had a good ear. I could mimic people, and
Do you have a little taste of something? Someone you can mimic?
and well, I always do Archie Bunker. That's like been seen, especially Archie's been always my thing. Let's see. Oh, holy jeez, Maureen, where the hell is Barry Ribs anyway? There, but
Very good. I like. Very impressed. That was good.
But anyway, I used to do with my neighbors. So when we had a block party, I would do all the neighbors, like and they'd sit around. All the neighbors would sit around in a chair, and I would just start impersonating all the neighbors and doing at the time. Now I think about it, I was saying some really terrible things because they would chase me off their lawn when we were playing baseball, or the ball would go on the lawn. This one guy would come out and yell out, and they're going, do this guy. And one guy I didn't even know as a young kid. He had a stroke, but I didn't know it. I didn't even know it. And he had this, and I'm doing a guy who had a stroke, and all the neighbors are laughing, and he was there. He's laughing too. It was just like, because here's this 7-year-old kid just doing impersonating.
Guy with a stroke.
Yeah, exactly.
Guy with a stroke. Hey, but
exactly.
You're in the clubs, and you know this yourself. You'll see people come up, in a wheelchair or a walker, and I've said to some of them, look. I'm a comic. I make fun of Stephen Hawking leaving his wife. The guy can't walk.
That's right.
His wife.
That's right.
He said, so you know what? He goes, I'm at a comedy. And this is what I love people like this. I'm at a comedy club. I think most people, particularly if you're in a wheelchair, you're sitting in front, you're like, come on, lady. Come on, dude, to the comics. I'm just a person. Make fun of me like you would the person next to me without the wheelchair. I think. Right?
Right. Yeah.
And anyway, I think that's a good way to be, not mocking your neighbor who has the stroke, but clearly he has a good.
That was and that was like, so I just can't believe that they would actually encourage me to do that. I mean, that was just,
Well, I know, and listen, even as an adult, there was a person I knew, this guy, he was just like, he just was crude. He hated women, I think, and he would be like, he'd call women the C word, and he had a stroke, a light stroke, and I said, oh, well, you know what? Well, now he'll just be calling women the C word out of the side of his mouth. You make jokes, you make dark jokes. What are you going to do? So you got away from, did you stay with the magic and the comedy?
Oh, yeah, I always do magic. Then I went to, I was a theater major in college, and that's where comedian Bob Nelson saw me. I was in a show.
On the pads?
Bob Nelson, yes, sure. And he saw, because my acting teacher was the same acting teacher. Billy Crystal went to the same college, Nassau Community College. It had the same acting teacher, and so did Bob. And anyway, they were getting ready to cast the Long Island Laughter Company, which was the improv group. And Bob called the theater director and the teacher and said, hey, we're casting this improv group. Is there we're looking for some young types. And he says, come down. There's a kid in the show now. It was me and this other girl. We did same time next year, just two people in the whole show. And he came to watch the play. And this is the best. He comes up to me after the show. And I went to high school with Bob. Now, Bob was a senior. Yeah, I was a freshman, remember?
And for those of you who know, Bob Nelson is a comic, very popular comic from Long Island.
Long Island, yeah.
With a helmet, shoulder pads,
Yeah, he was very, very hot years ago as well. But anyway, so he comes up to me after the show and he says, hey, we have this audition. I want you to audition at the Eastside Comedy Club. It's Wednesday at 2:00 in the afternoon, whatever it was. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm kind of like yesing him to death, but I'm looking at the side of my eye because I know there's a party after I'm a young college kid. I'm like, I want to go. So anyway, I'll never forget this. I'm at my house, living at home, obviously. I have a towel around my neck, my bathing suit on. I'm ready to go to the beach. It's like 10:00 in the morning, waiting for my friends to pick me up in the car. The car pulls up. My phone rings. My mother answers the phone, and she says, Vinnie, Bob Nelson on the phone. And I'm like, I totally forgot about the audition. So I get on, hello? Yeah, Bob. He goes, Vinnie, yeah, we're going to see you this afternoon, 2:00, just to remind you. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll be there. He's like, called me to remind me. I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Audition for, Vinnie?
It was for the improv group, which was the Long Island Laughter Company. So they had a bunch of all these Long Island comics. And anyway, they narrowed down a big cattle call down to, there was like 5 of us. And Rosie O'Donnell was one of them. It was me, Rosie, Jim Myers, Bob Nelson, Dave Hawthorne. And it was great. That was the show.
You came up with Rosie.
Rosie, yeah. That's how I met Rosie. Yeah, we started.
before you tell me that, I just have to tell you, you and Billy Crystal had the same acting coach in
Yes,
college.
acting
I'm
teacher.
telling you, I think he paid more attention. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kidding you. Yeah, you're a great comic. You have to bust. We're comics. Vinnie Mark is my guest. He's a comedian originally from Long Island, and you know, in the comedy world, the Long Island comics are fantastic. They're such a group of great people, and to perform on Long Island is the best because you have your Irish, your Italian, your Jews. You can be politically incorrect. They get where they come from. They understand they came from working class, and now they're educated. They're just a great mix of people. But anybody who listens to when you hear me ring the bell in a couple minutes, that's my commercial.
I watched the show. Oh yeah,
insane.
I watched the show.
So anybody who watches the show knows that I love Rosie O'Donnell very, very much. So please tell me a story about meeting and working with Rosie. Go.
Well, we started together. You know, we're 18 years old. We got casted in this group, and her and I kind of got together because we're with these older.
Really?
No.
Now? Oh, okay, different.
Wait a minute. Yeah, more experienced comedians. And they weren't very nice to us. I mean, we were in the group, but we were like, we got beat up on quite a bit. Actually, and she never forgot that.
If you guys have a question, a comedy question, or you want advice, or you have questions about, just anything, just feel free to make a comment here. And again, I just want to tell people, if you, I want to see your names. I want to see who is sending me these comments. I can see Liz. I can see Bob. Oh, I see Danny Michael's in the house. I worked with him at Friendly's ice cream parlor. Would you rather be a fish? Because we're carrying these big bowls of heavy goblets filled with Reese's Pieces sundaes for a quarter tip. And we'd look at each other in the aisle and go, want to be a fish? Would you like to swing on? Would you rather be? Anyway, he used to make me crack up. But listen, this is what you need to do because I want to see who you are. So I know I interrupt, Vinnie, but we're growing something here very soon.
No, I understand. Build. Let it build.
Let it build. What I want people to do is please go to, I want to see your face. You have to give me permission. Simply go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. StreamYard.com. As soon as you go /Facebook, you're just going to see a blue button. Click on it, and we are done, and we are ready to go. That's the deal. And since we're doing this right now, well, we'll get back to this later. But right now, if you do want to support the show, people have been asking. So I am telling you, you can go to paypal.me/Molangan or Venmo @Molangan, bringing you great content every day, Monday through Friday, bringing my world of journalism and comedy together, giving you a respite from the rage.
Yep.
And if you, this is all, I love StreamYard versus Zoom. Get off the Zoom, you people. It's a nightmare. Or if you want to support another way, you can go to my store. It's Don't Make Me Hate You at Molangan /store. And what can you get there? Oh, I'll tell you what you can get there. Look, oh my goodness, look at all these Don't Make Me Hate You products. Wow. Vinnie's like, wow. Look at that. I got masks.
All this without the bell. I didn't even hear the bell.
Oh, I have, hear ye. I have masks, T-shirts, all kinds, men, women, coasters. I got clocks. I have little onesies. I love it all. But anyway, the mask, just go. You'll see what I have. There's a ton of stuff. And this show is brought to you by, please stand by, is brought to you by, I'm so new at this, Bitten by a Zebra Design and Photography. Bob Johnson is the owner, and great graphics, website, and boudoir photography. All right, that was my commercial break. And there we go. All right. Back to Vinnie Mark, comedian from Long Island, originally from Long Island. And we'll talk about now. But let's talk. So were you talking about Rosie? Where were we?
Yeah, we got casted in the improv group. We became friends. And
what was it like to work with her?
Oh, it was great. She was great. She always had, she had the drive. She had the drive. I always was amazed. We'd be sitting at the bar at the East Side Comedy Club, and we were doing our weekly show. It was there once a week. But
where was the East Side Comedy Club? In Manhattan?
In Huntington, on Jericho Turnpike in Huntington, Long Island.
Yeah. People are watching this all around the country. Yeah, Jericho Turnpike. It's so funny. Like we know all this, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. But East Side was one of the, everybody worked there. I mean, Joey Cola talked about it the other day. I'm sure when you had him on. Yeah, he's everybody worked. That's how we all met. And but anyway, we did the show. But Rosie, I remember sitting at the bar, we're talking, and she says, "Oh, I'm booked." She had 6 months in advance booked it. She had 15 minutes of material. but she had such a drive. She would hammer the phones back then, calling Rick Messina and all these guys, book me, book me, book me. She had no material. She had 15 minutes. She would tell, 20 maybe.
Was it because I hustled a lot. I mean, I still hustle.
Yeah.
But was it, what do you think it was? Was it her hustle, or was there an immediate industry going? Because it works both ways, the industry plucking her, or was it her pushing her, in a good way, pushing herself forward?
Yeah.
You have to do both.
Yeah. She definitely pushed herself forward. She used to get mad at me all the time because I wasn't pushing myself enough. She would say, you got to get off Long Island. She would say that to me. And, even Bob Nelson, she thought he should have been off, Long Island.
Well, you do have to expand your audience. One does have to expand their audience. And,
right.
I agree with her. And I wish she would come back because.
Absolutely. Yeah, she was great.
I wish she would come back. We need that energy right now. We need her energy. I don't like crafts, but I would watch her make some crafts at this point. I welcome her Broadway friends. I want Oprah to come back. I want more of that positive energy out there. I'm sick of these yelling, screaming.
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
Yeah, I don't watch any of that. But when she had her show, VH1 Stand Up Spotlight, of course, she called me. I did that show as well as the Rosie O'Donnell show I did. But
you did?
Oh, yeah. She had me on. She actually had me. I did my Archie on there, too, because she used to say, she always had a little Archie Bunkerisms. Remember? I don't know if you noticed. Well, on the first show, an early show, there's a clip of it. It's like the first week she was filming. She had me on doing my little Archie. She goes, and I just want you all to know, she says, when I'm doing Archie Bunker, I'm actually doing Vinnie Mark doing Archie Bunker. So now you know. I had that on my
show, or was this the?
It was her talk show, Rosie O'Donnell talk show. Yeah, her show.
I want to be best friends with her. Well, no, best friend with Carol Burnett, but I want her to be my second best friend. I like her. I hope she comes back. I'd love to see her come back.
So anyway, so from that, the comedy boom started. I caught the wave at the right time too. I was working with great people, Bob Nelson, Dave Hawthorne, all these guys, and they helped me develop my show. I was already doing magic, so I just.
Yeah, but I came right when it was tanking, like right when it was like, see you later, Langan. Bing!
Yeah.
I came in 98.
What year?
98.
Yeah, it was. That was definitely on the down curve. Yeah,
I lost a six-figure job at Bloomberg, so I could.
That was the flattening of the curve.
Make $20 a night. But you know what's the thing that people don't know? In the New York City clubs during the week, you make $25 a spot. It has gone up $5 since I began in 1998, and we tried to unionize back around that time, probably around 2000, and a lot of the comics were against it because they said, well, if you guys unionize, the newbies won't get the same amount of stage time. I'm like, that's right. And I'm a newbie. That's right. You work your way up and then you get the stage time. The Rosie O'Donnells get the talk shows, then there's room for the new people.
Right.
The established ones get bigger gigs on the road or then you come along. It's an apprenticeship of sorts, but they wouldn't do it. And now, you hit rough times, you hit unemployment times. We don't have a safety net, thank God.
No.
Gig artists some support right now during the pandemic.
Yeah.
People don't get that.
No, I know. Yeah, no, we have no. Unless you have there are some guys that have. I know, we're never full time comics. They had a day job.
Yeah.
But I was always full time producing shows.
Well, let's talk about this. Well, I want to get to both sides of that, but I want to know. I love to know comics, and if you have any questions for Vinnie or myself about comedy, about the world, any of it, feel free to make a comment. What was your best and your worst gig? Let's start with the best, because then I like to hear the worst.
Yeah, the best gig. It's funny. I've been asked that a couple of times. Obviously, a lot. I always ask when I'm asked, but there's two types of best I break it down to. The best that I feel is the best, as far as the venue and the audience reaction, I think is the best. Or is it just the best gig that I like because it happens to have a really nice hotel? I'm an avid golfer, obviously.
Give us both. Give us one of each.
Well, the Borgata in Atlantic City was great. It was the best gig. Yeah.
Borgata is fantastic.
Yes.
I hate Atlantic City. I hate it. The Borgata's class. It has a lovely theater. They have good restaurants that we can't.
They treat you great. Yeah, you feel, great backstage crew, wonderful people. Just a fan, and you feel like you're in show. You're in front of 1,100 people every night or whatever it is, and they're great audiences. That is a great gig. And then I'm trying to think what else. what was the other one I was going to say? Oh, well, I got to tour with Randy Travis in 2007. So that was my favorite gig. That was
How was he? Tell me everything.
he was
You're a
wonderful.
douchebag. Go.
No, that was it. I basically, it was a great story. I started in Kingston, New York at the UPAC Center, Ulster Performing Arts Center. I'll never forget this. And it was kind of like they saw my DVD and everything. They knew what I was doing. I was filling in for, going to be getting the job. But if I tanked, I wasn't coming to the next game.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. So I remember, this is funny. I remember the 6th row seat was empty. And that was his wife, Lib Hatcher, who actually sat in there, was going to be the decision maker. So right before the show started, I know she rolled out there, but I'm backstage in my dressing room 2 hours early. They have bottled water there, and I'm like freaking out because I'm nervous. And I have 2 jackets. I have a brown super suede jacket and a black jacket, blue shirt, black jeans. I always had black jeans and boots on the country shows. So I'm like thinking, okay, so what jacket am I going to wear? The suede or the black jacket? So I'm trying them on. I'm drinking the water. I finally, boom, I put the black jacket on, and I go out. Do great. I kill.
You do?
Oh, I crushed it. Yeah.
You crushed it. That's good.
Crushed it. So I walk off. His road tour manager, Robert, comes up. He says, "Well, see you in Atlantic City tomorrow night. Lib loved you. Great, go." Basically kicked me out of said, "Go, you can go." I start driving to Atlantic City. But I said, I want to watch a little bit of the show. I didn't even meet Randy yet. So he comes out, and Mo, you're not going to believe it. What does he have on is black jeans, boots, blue shirt, a little different than mine, but the same super suede jacket that I almost was going to wear. So I said to his road manager, I said, "You got Robert, come into my dressing room." I pulled him and I opened the door and I go, "Look at that." And he looks at it and goes, "Ooh, that would have been a little awkward." He said, "We would have had the same jacket on. It would have just been so weird."
Like two women walk into the to the gig with the same. I mean, like a famous woman. Go.
Right. So I explained.
Voice.
Yeah, I explained to him that this was to the road manager. I said this was the dream gig for me. I'm so once I got it, I was. The other funny thing, real quick, was the PS was I drank all my water backstage before the show. Yeah, so I didn't have any when I was done. So I went around the front of the theater during the intermission and waited online and bought a water from the.
Why were you?
No, I didn't want to ruin the gig. Remember, I didn't want to make any waves. I know I did well. I got the green light, but so I went and bought a water. And the people online are looking at me because I took the jacket off. I put a baseball cap on, and I see them looking and going, "Weren't you just, weren't you the guy who's just out?"
I opened twice for. Oh, I'm sorry. I cut you off.
No. Anyway, so I tell Robert how great. I love Randy Travis. Is my dream. He goes, "You'll meet him tomorrow night. You'll see him tomorrow." Anyway, I get into the dressing room at Caesars, and in my dressing room, and there's a guitar and a picture sitting on my desk there, and it's Randy Travis picture. It says Vinnie sign. So great to finally be working with you, Randy Travis.
Wow.
So I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm crying. I'm literally crying because this is and I'm
Come on, snap out of it.
Wait, yeah. So the door opens and I go, "Robert, thank you." And he goes, "Did you get it?" And he's pointing past me. He's pointing to the guitar. I flip over the guitar. It's a signed guitar, and it's for me from Randy Travis. Hasn't met me yet.
Oh,
he goes,
and he didn't mean it.
Yeah, no, but he goes basically because he told them all about how much I wanted to work with him, and this is something. Yeah. So that was the dream gig. He was great, super great guy. Unfortunately, very sick now, and he had major heart. He had a heart issue. Did
he have some of these issues too?
He did. He was straight. It's a long story, but yeah, he did, and then he got divorced from that man that lived.
The one who has good taste and picked you. Oh no.
Yeah, yeah, good.
It is fun when we get to open for some big people. Of course, all right. So this is good. I've opened for Gladys Knight a couple times, and she's so great.
Now their audiences, except embraced you. Like country audiences to me are the best. They were so nice to me. It was like easy shows.
I've never really worked before a country audience.
How was that? How were their
crowds? Her audience is. It was in northern New Jersey at the Bergen County. Her audience is very. I would say sophisticated.
Right.
Very mixed audience.
Right.
There was many people. They loved her. Very, that handsome, swarthy, jacket wearing. I got to calm down. But
Right.
the audiences are beyond fantastic. The only unfortunate thing is I didn't meet her because they put me in steerage because I'm Irish. They put me downstairs like it's 1865. Like,
Right. Right.
not her,
Yeah.
the theater. So twice I didn't get to meet her. I mean, I see her. I'm on the side of the stage. I'm in the wings, but
Yeah.
I think the nicest thing, one of the nicest, so I loved working for her. I mean, I
Yeah.
loved it. But she doesn't pick it. The theater does. But obviously, she liked me enough to agree to the second time to come back, which is great.
Sure.
This is a great theater in northern New Jersey. But I worked in Morristown, and that's where I grew up in that area in New Jersey. And Stephen Wright, I opened for Stephen Wright. And he is, he's understated.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Use of man. I open for him. It's my area. I know all the ins and outs, just like you would in Huntington, Long Island, that area.
Right. Local.
Yeah, I have a very good set, but I have to get back to Manhattan. So I'm taking the last train back to Manhattan, so I can't stay for his whole set. And I told him that. Well, I told, his manager that. I don't mean any disrespect. I'm walking out the door. His manager comes running after me, says, Stephen couldn't tell you personally because he's on stage. He wants you to know how talented you are and how grateful he is that you opened for him. He had his manager find me before I left. I mean, who does that? These are people with ego who really appreciate what you do. All right, let's get to the whole gig. Vinnie Mark, my comic friend from Long Island. John Tobin, my former co-host.
Yes, WPDH, right?
Yeah, WPDH. I lasted for about 3 weeks. I'm like, get me out of here. I can't be down Manhattan all the way up to Poughkeepsie. He's calling you the captain.
Yes, the captain. That's what I used to call. Well, I'll tell you about that. When I ran the clubs, I used to call I was the thing. I said, I'm the captain. I'm the captain of the ship. If I'm not at the club, everything goes to shit.
Well, I want you to talk about running club, but here's the deal. I want you to do your hell gig. Go, gig.
The hell gig is, I'm not going to, I did do the one everyone says is Betty's Fireside. Jody and I did that.
That's in Denville, New Jersey.
Denville, New Jersey, yeah.
Betty's Fireside.
Yeah, that was the worst gig. And we actually were, we could have never done it. But I'm like an idiot. I said, I think I have to do it because everyone's talking about it. I knew what I was going into, but so I actually called. I think it was Linda Rowe was booking it at the time.
It was a booker in New York.
Yeah. And she says, I said, I want to do it with Jody. And we actually did it. And it was.
Jody's his wife, another comedian. I'm trying to
yes, I know.
The inside world. I'm trying to open it up.
Yeah, Jody Weiner, my wife, opened the show, and she killed in that place. Of course, she did great because she was edgy, and it's a horseshoe-shaped bar. You're standing. It was a terrible setup that Betty's Fire. Anyway, I went up and just bought.
His wife is the most likable, takes charge of the room. She giggled at herself. She's just she's lovely.
They love her. Yeah, they love her. And I went up and just ate it, which I was expecting. Which was not in the beginning. I actually lost it on stage. I started yelling at them a little bit, which I never do. Yeah. How disrespectful.
You never turn on the audience like that.
But that's how bad that place was. And that was kind of like what anyway, but that one I wouldn't even tell that story. The funny one was actually those two hell gigs. Again, I always break it down into categories. Hell meaning hell, like you just had a terrible time. I had two things happen. I was doing a show. Actually, John Peasy booked me on it at the Staten Island Yacht Club.
Sounds nice.
Oh yeah, that's it. And it was a private
oxymoron. Staten Island
Yacht Club. I know. And it's a private. No, this is the private market thing, So that's why my hell gigs are not like just some guys just do clubs, So anyway, so here's what happens. I just want to fix the cat. So I'm doing my show, and I was doing a lot of cruise ships then, and I had just bought this new prop. It's a magic trick. I'll give it to you real quick, and this was again before 9/11. This was in the 90s. I had a gun. It was a gun involved. It was a magic trick with a gun, but it was a big card trick. You have a person pick a card, and then put the card on this magic table. You get someone up on stage. They shoot at the deck of cards, and their card's supposed to fly out of the deck. But it's a sight gag thing. The first shot, there's also a bouquet of flowers on the table. The flowers go flying in the air after the first shot. That's the joke. And then boom, the second one, the tablecloth. Yeah, no, exactly. Bad magic. The tablecloth goes flying off. Then but anyway, I'm doing a gig. I'm rolling along, killing no problem. I get a woman up on stage, and I have her pick the card, and I take out the gun. As soon as I take out the gun, she starts going, no, 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 and she drops to the ground crying, and like almost passes out.
Oh no.
And and everything. The room is dead silent because they all know each other. Her two friends come running up to her, helping, and they push me away. And the maitre d' goes, "Come on, just get your stuff and get out of here." And turns out that her husband, 3 months before that, no, I didn't know, had committed suicide with a gun. Right? How am I supposed to know this? And this was her first night out.
Oh God, you fucked up her life.
Yeah. Oh, she just right. But I didn't know any of this, so I'm like running. Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, and that was one that, again, that's how they go for me, though. It's like you could be sailing along, and then all of a sudden I just hit the iceberg. I just did one last year.
That's what it is when it's a hell gig. That's what it is when it's a hell gig. Excuse me.
Well, sometimes
Commercial break. It's insane. Just want to let you know that this week's shows are sponsored rather, by Bitten by a Zebra Design and Photography, bittenbyazebra.com, giving you the best in graphics, photography. I'm trying to do it like a commercial, and website design. Bitten by a Zebra does great work. They've done my website. They do all my graphics. Bob Johnson is the owner and the CEO of that company. He's just a great guy. You got to love him, and you got to check him out. Really great guy. And he'll give you great prices. And if you tell him Mo sent you, he'll give you 20% off right now. He understands what's going on. So he already started there, and now he'll give you 20 off. And also too, Maureen Langan, has her own store. A shop. Right? Oh yes, I have all these.
You have merchandise?
I know I haven't mentioned it, but I have shirts that say "Don't make me hate you."
Oh wow, it would be great if you had glasses or other items too.
Oh really? Okay, here, I'll be right back, Vinny. Don't make me hate you.
Okay.
All this. You're so funny. Look at all this masks. The "Don't make me hate you" masks. Come on, let's see that. And everything, coasters, onesies, we have all of that. And all you have to do is go to my website. Here we go. Just go to molangan.com/store, molangan.com/store, or enter don'tmakemehateyou.com. It'll get you there too. I see that my friend and colleague Joey is watching. Joey, I'm still not getting the comments on. I'm getting some, but not all on the StreamYard, on the Stream Rage. So let me go back to this. If you guys want to support, there's also one other way you can support. And listen, I feel like I'm not a shyster. What's the word? You feel like
a panhandler?
Yeah. I feel like I would do much better with a one-eyed dog and a tin can at a red light. That's what I feel. But here it is, paypal.me/Mo Langan and Venmo @Mo Langan. Oh, and if you want to sponsor the show, people have been reaching out. If you want to sponsor, just email me at molangan.com, hanging with Langan. It all takes you there. So I appreciate your support. You guys have been great. And one other thing, in order to see your comments, like who is associated with that comment, you might have a question, but I don't know who you are unless I look at my phone here. I do see your comments on this new lovely stuff I'm getting. Bob, I did not get your. Oh, yes, I did. Bob Johnson just clicked. So this is how you can. I can see your profile photo and know who the comment is from. Just go to StreamYard.com/. Facebook, StreamYard.com/Facebook. Click on the blue button. That's it, and you're done. I see Kathy Ladman is watching. Shout out to Kathy.
Oh, she's great.
You're so talented. Would you please come on my show? I would love, love, love to have you. If you don't know Kathy Ladman, freaking check her out. The woman is brilliant and established and funny as hell. So let us bring back Vinnie Mark. Hold on. Let's bring him back to the stream and let us. Commercial has ended. All right.
Got to keep the bell. Keep the bell in.
I love it. It's, but you know what? This is all new technology to me because I've been using Zoom and I hate Zoom. And this is wonderful. I just have to get better at just certain things about it.
I like this. Somebody
buy a mask. Don't make me hate you.
Wow. Look at that.
That's great. Look at that. All right. So those were your hell gigs, right?
Yes, those
All
are my
right.
hell. No, yeah, those are my hell gigs. I talked about the best gigs. Then you want to talk about as a producer. You said, or
Can
if
I
I
tell you
produced.
my hell gigs very quickly? Can I
Oh
share with
yes.
you? Mm.
Can you ring the bell first?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Different sounds for different things.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't a big hell gig, but this is typical of what happens to most comics. Somebody needs comics for a show on Zoom. I have not done stand-up on Zoom. I don't really want to do it unless it's going to pay very, very well. I host a lot of corporate gigs, by the way, on Zoom as a facilitator, keep things flowing, not as a stand-up, but keep things flowing. And so this fella wanted comics for Zoom show, 15 people only, very low pay, but I thought this would be a good experiment for me to see how the stand-up will work. I chose to say yes. I chose that. So I said, hey, here's my website, and if you could promote my store. Yeah. And he owns a winery, a small winery. And this is for his 15 employees. And he says, yeah, my marketing department, they're very strict about promoting other people's brands. And I'm like, you're your freaking marketing department. It's your freaking, what is this BS? So I go, really? And he goes, yeah, sorry. But if you want to back out, I understand. You know what he's doing. Right? You get what he's doing.
I know what he's doing.
You're going, take it or leave it. That's what that means. And I said, okay, thank you for understanding. I'll back out.
Good for you.
And I said, when you have other shows that are more in line with each other, that would be fantastic. But a friend of mine from Dublin, Peter O'Byrne, says, Maureen, why don't you invite him to come to your home with 15 people, rip the labels off all his wine, and not let him tell the name of his company. Let's do that. Because that's what he is asking me to do. Come, do my little joke show. Don't let anybody know how they can find you, where they. So as comics, we get crap like that all the time.
Oh yeah, I just had a show. That's what I was saying. And this is again almost unbelievable. And again, I'm up here. I'm in the Adirondacks. I'm kind of known. People.
He moved up to upstate New York because that's really a club of comedy.
Yes, in 2001. I'll tell you about it. But anyway, real quick, it was for the New York State mental health workers. It was their holiday party.
Oh, no.
So in other words. Yeah, so this is all, and the woman who in charge of it, this is because they deal with a lot of stuff all year long. This is now their party to let rip. They said, we want to have a good time. We give, gifts out at the end of the thing, but we want to have you do about 25 minutes of your show. We love what you do. She knows my stuff, the woman. You'll be perfect. We had a meeting, you're hired. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's right 10 minutes from my house at the venue this is great. I'm doing it. I hit the stage like Jerry Seinfeld. I'm killing.
Yeah, you are.
Like better than Randy Travis. There was another guitar. Right. Anyway, I do a straitjacket bit at the end of my show. So I take the straitjacket out, and I could feel a little weirdness in the room all of a sudden. They got a little. And I do one joke. I go, this is a regulation straitjacket, the one they use on the Real Sickos. I go, this one is mine. Nothing. So I go from Seinfeld killing level to crickets, but doing a whole and it's just and then afterwards I had to MC give out the prizes to their best workers or whatever, and I did that and I kind of did some jokes. Got it anyway. The woman who hired me writes me this long email the next day. You were so well received. Everything was great. Why wouldn't you know to not do that joke? And I'm like, what, because I said the Real Sick. I guess we still have a lot of work to do with the community. But I go, you said this was your end of the year party to let it, so, in hindsight.
There were mentally ill people there?
What? No, this was for the workers, this was for the caretakers.
You weren't digging it. You thought you could, yeah.
No, it was just a joke that I guess I could have been omitted. I guess, and maybe I should. I did as I was going up to it. As I was coming up to it, I'm getting ready to pull up. I'm going, geez, should I really? And I went, I don't know. I'm just killed. They're gonna love it. These people get it.
That's like taking a gun to suicide prevention hotline people. That's what that. But let me tell you, I did something similar. I do this bit about people getting book and movie deals. People who do the wrong things get book and movie deals. That's just it. And I know proper semicolons. And it's a longer bit, but I talk about a woman who was in jail because she killed her husband. I don't know her name, but we'll call her Killer. He was abusing her and battering her, so so she killed him. But she got a prison sentence as she deserved and a book and movie deal. So I fast forward. I know the proper use of semicolons, but she got the book deal. And I said, I was married to a good guy, a nice guy, I mean, for a while. And what can I do? Can I cook? Can I clean? What can I do? What can I do? I go, you know what you can do? You can hit me so I can shoot you. That's what you can do. Maureen kills her husband. She gets a book and movie deal. It was a fundraiser for battered women's shelter.
Yeah.
Joe, you're like, oh, no.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
We do those things. My
Yeah.
guest, Vinnie Mark, comic, originally from Long Island. I'm looking at people's comments. Vinnie, they're saying Joseph Wesley. Hello to Vinnie from Joe and Gail.
Yes,
Joey
from New Jersey.
Joey, you could have said Vinnie and Maureen, Joey Callahan. I'm teasing.
Oh, yeah, Joey, Joe Vetri, original usher at the Borgata Comedy Club in Atlantic City.
I know that, and I love the board.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Great. So before I let you go, Vinnie, Mark, I want to know, you work as a comic since the 80s. You also do comedy shows. So you know what it's like as a performer to be treated like crap and to be treated well. You also know the lunatic comics, those you can rely on, those are who are professional, and those hurt. You're like, why did I ever in a million years book this person? Not because their comedy was bad, but because you had to deal with them. So what I would like to know from you, you don't have to name names.
I'll name names. All
right, go. So into this.
You want to know what now? Who annoyed me, or who just what was a disaster program? Or
you can do both. You know what it is.
all right. I won't name this guy. One guy was having problems with his wife. It was the backstory, but I didn't know. And I was at my daughter's recital. It was on March.
You were booking a club where? You were booking a show where?
I was booking a show up here, up in my. We had 3 comedy clubs at the time. This one, I think, was we had maybe 2. But I made it.
People are watching from all over the country, upstate New York, way upstate, like
Lake George, Adirondack region, right? And this was early 2000s, 2005, whatever it was, 7. I don't even remember. 10. It doesn't matter. The point was, I made it clear to all the comics, I'm going to be at my daughter's. She's singing in the show, whatever the play. She had the lead in the play. I don't want to be bothered, unless the building's burning down. Don't call me.
Yeah.
So of course, I guess it was like 7 o'clock. My phone goes and I'm looking, and it's the hotel that I put the comics up in, which I have a great relationship with. This one comic doesn't want to produce his credit card, and she's like, I can't check him in unless you put a credit card for incidentals. We pay for the comic. We pay for it.
Right.
We pay for the room. We pay for everything. We just don't pay for the. It's a standard thing when you work in this business. Everywhere you go, you got. So he didn't do it. But
you have to give a credit card to get your room. You don't have to buy anything or put anything on it. They just need it as a backup security thing. That's it.
Right. So I storm out of my daughter's thing after the show was done, run to the club and catch this guy as he's getting off stage. And I just read him the riot act, and I was really pissed off. And I said, I don't want to. And he basically never gave me a reason. He said it was a long story, but then I found out the backstory was he evidently in Florida did something where they didn't have a room at the normal hotel. He had to go to another hotel, and his wife thought he was cheating on him. She saw it on the credit card, and that was the whole thing. So then now he wasn't allowed to use his, and I just I was just pissed off at the whole thing. So that was just one thing that annoyed me. I mean, that's one. The other one.
It's not horrible.
No, the horrible ones are the guys that show up late, and New York City comics. I don't mean to lump, but we had shows Friday and Saturday. There would be guys leaving at 4 o'clock. That 2 of them would jump in a car, leaving New York City at 4 o'clock on a Friday to come upstate New York, and they would call me and go, "Hey, we just left." I said, "Okay, what helicopter are you on?" I said, "I don't know. I'll find the nearest heliport." And they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "You effing idiots! We go out of our way of a beautiful hotel. We can have dinner at the club 7 o'clock. They roll in.
4-hour drive. How long is it?
It depends on traffic. Now you got to give yourself 5 hours easy.
Yeah, I would think so.
At least, and that's without a disaster happening. At the time. So anyway, and I'm emceeing the shows, and my whole thing was designed at clubs where I don't have to work. I want to be able to just go up there, do my soft 7-8 minutes, welcoming people know me, they've seen me, Jody and I are overexposed anyway, and I want to introduce all my great comedy friends that have. You did the shows and the great audiences. They love it. So now all of a sudden,
have a gig. Do you still do Saratoga in those shows or no?
No. Once Jody got sick, we kind of dissolved everything pretty much. Was concentrating on keeping her healthy and.
Yeah, Jody, such a fantastic comic, recovering from her third bout with cancer, and we wish her all the best. Jody Weiner is.
Thank you.
Yes, you know.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll tell you. So not only would the comic show up late, I was going to tell you this. This is the other thing that would piss me off, and it just set me off because I'm a great, easy, fun-loving guy. But when
you are.
But when you're working for me, at least have the respect. Show, and they come in. I'm starving. It's like already 10 minutes late and I already did the time that they should have been doing on the stage, and they're like, "Can I get my dinner to go?" That just pisses me off. I don't like it when you could have had dinner at 7:00 at the show. That's why I have it at 7:00 is to get you at the club on time. None of this to go. I don't like that. That to me was something and that's just maybe a pet peeve.
Before the show because it bogs you down. But on the other hand, I don't think I've ever said, "Can I take it to go?" I don't think I've ever done that.
Well, it's just I mean, that was a bad example. The other one was this was great. A good friend. I love Vic DiPotetto.
Vic, we love Vic DiPotetto.
I love
him now.
But he knows. But this was he was doing our club, and this just cracked me up. He says to me, and he probably doesn't even remember this. He calls me up on Thursday. We had Thursday, Friday, Saturday then. This was before he hit really hot, So he came up with Lucy. They stayed in a hotel. I don't even think we had the greatest hotels at the time. It was a motel unit or whatever. But he calls me up, Thursday. What time's the show again? And it's the middle of the summer. I'm busy. I'm like, it's 8:30. Okay. He calls me up Friday. We have a show. What time's the show again? And I'm like in the middle of taking reservations, setting, working the club, doing like 8 jobs. Saturday night. What time's the show again? At 5:00 in the evening when the phones are blowing off the hook. And so that night Saturday night after the show, I turned to him and I go, "Vic, what was I supposed to pay you?" And he goes, I go, "What are you getting paid?" He goes, $1,000. I go, "Oh, that you fucking remembered." That you fucking knew.
That you remember.
You didn't remember the show times, but he laughed.
I got to tell you, I stopped driving years ago. I know it's funny. I stopped driving. I'm talking to Vinnie Mark, comic, and he also was booking comedy shows for many years. So he's on both sides. He gets it. I drove a comic. Oh God, I don't even want to talk about him. He was a lunatic. I wanted to put him on the side of the road.
There's a lot of them.
And like, "Hey, I don't want to leave. I want to leave tonight." I go, "Well, I'm going to leave in the morning. I don't want to drive 4 or 5 hours."
Right.
Tonight. I just
they don't have a car. They don't have a car. They're on your schedule.
Car. It's not my fault you don't know how to rent a car, buy a car. It's not my fault you're an underachiever. Not my problem in life.
Right. And the word comedy, the word career has the word car in it. That's John Mulaney's I love that.
Kelly, hello. Joey.
Hey, I love Max.
Oh, love these guys.
The best.
Yeah, I haven't had Max on yet. I got to get Max on the show. But
so you're in the car and he's a nightmare.
Listen, I get it. Listen, I live in Manhattan. I got rid of my car a while ago. It's called rent a car. It's called, deal with it. But I
zip car right there. Zip car.
I Hertz now is bankrupt. But I had a gal. Well, 2 things. Hiya, Joey. We say hi to Joey, but we love him.
Love Joey.
We do. He opens your heart every time you're around him. But then I close it really fast. No, I don't. I try to. But this guy, him. I can't say something. But he was like, "I want to go tonight." I go, "Well, I told you we're going to leave in the morning." "Yeah, well, I want to go tonight." And he didn't pay a penny. I don't care.
No, doesn't, of course.
Doesn't pay a penny.
Then doesn't offer to pay anything.
Then I'm buying soda water or a can of Pepsi. And he has all his snacks. And I go, he pays for everything. I'm right next to him, not a can of soda. I go, "Oh, really? Too much?" He's, "What, you expect me to pay for?" I go, "Have to."
Wow.
I said, "I'm half doing. It's just be gracious." But I had a woman I drove. This was insane. And I drive her hours. It's just, generosity begins generosity. My brother once said, when people are generous, you can't do enough for them in return. It's just natural. It's not like you're keeping score, but you don't notice who paid last, this is on me, who got the last round. But the person who doesn't take 1 nickel out of their pocket, you always remember them. It's very interesting. Drive this woman to the end of Long Island and back. We get to the Triborough Bridge. She peels out a single dollar and says, "Let me contribute." And I said, you know what? Keep your dollar. Keep your dollar. I'm
That's why
here.
I never picked up comics in the city, by the way, for years. Jerry Stanley, these are names, guys that used to they used to get very angry with me because I would say, I lived on Long Island. I had a car. I show up on time. I do a solid show. If they want to meet me, I said, some guys took the train in or whatever. I said, I don't want to go near the city. I go from, I jump over to Throg's Neck and zoom up to Connecticut.
And you shouldn't have to do that. No, I get it. And listen, if I can help another comic, of course I will. I just don't want to be around comics that bring you down, that, make you late, that aren't professional. I had a comic say to me once, I rarely have been late to a gig. I think it's twice in 22 years. But I was doing a city gig. And when you do a city gig in Manhattan, you jump from Gotham over to stand up New York, to comedy. And they know sometimes the comedy that you're going to get, maybe the club before is running a little late. So you call the next club and go, God, I'm so sorry. Can you put the person after me up first? Because they usually have 8 people on a show. And just a couple times. But I remember I said to a comic, very established, a lot of late night credits. I said, okay, let me call Broadway. I'm running about 10 minutes late. Don't call. Like when you call, you look like not desperate, but you have to let them know that you're, like the prize. And I'm like, I don't think they're going to think I'm a prize.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how that's going to, I'm like, anyway.
Yeah, they'll appreciate it. Yeah, the communication, right.
My last commercial before I ask you one last thing.
Jingle.
Hear ye. All right.
Holy jeez, them bells.
Them bells, I need it. You guys to do me a favor because I want to be able to see your names when you make Joey Cole says, Vinnie, what are you? What are you?
What are you? What are you? We have this thing. Some guy. What are you? I should reveal it. It's basically a friend of mine on Long Island.
Okay.
Great.
Don't say what it is yet.
Okay.
That'll be
okay.
After my break.
Yes, we'll tell you what are you.
To do is I want to be able to see your name and your little profile picture when you comment. So what I need you to do, hold on. I need you to just go to streamyard.com/Facebook. Just click the blue button. And then anytime from then on, whenever you, hold on, battery going low. I know. I always have it ready to go. Anyway, hold on.
She's gone.
Yeah, she'll be gone.
She's gone. She's not here.
Louise, I have more technology.
Carmine's not here.
I feel like I should be working in Silicon Valley. So go to that, and then forevermore, I'll be able to see you. You don't have to do it every time. That's it. Just StreamYard.com. I want to give a big shout out to Bob Johnson, the owner of Bitten by a Zebra Design, Photography, Graphic Design, Website Design. Great sponsor of this show. I would love to have you support my products. Don't make me hate you. The masks, T-shirts, onesies, coasters, clocks. We have it all. Where do you go for that? You just go to Mo Langan store. See, don't make me hate you. MoLangan.com store. Vinny's like, haven't seen that before. Buy merchandise, you can do this. You can go to paypal.me/MoLangan, Venmo @MoLangan.com. Just chuck a buck. This is this is my job right now. This is what I'm doing to make a living and to bring you great content every day. I that's what we do, and I'm trying to get rid of all these. we learn. This is new technology, my friend. New technology.
You're funny.
Okay, I know, but you know what? You do the best you can.
I love it. Yeah, no.
But
Chuck a buck. You just
there.
Like the girl. Here's $1. Let me contribute.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Okay, end of commercial. So let's answer Joey Cola, fantastic comic. He had a question. He was on the show with me at the beginning.
I saw it. It was great.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Vinnie, what are you? He's asking.
What are you? You make it like an Irish thing. What are you? It's one of these things that from years ago, I used to play. I was avid golf, always playing golf. And I used to play with this one group, and it was a Filipino psychiatrist in our group. And he would play like head games with you to try to beat you. We always had big bets going. But if you left a putt short in his Filipino accent, he wanted to say, like, what are you? What are you? Why didn't you hit it like a man?
Yeah, like, what are you? Right.
Yeah, what are you? What are you? So if I left a putt short of somebody else, that he would go, what are you? It came out as what are you? So it just made me laugh. So I would, of course, again, mimic. I started saying it to him when he left. putt short, and then when Joey played, we would do it. So when we were in Atlantic City at the Borgata a couple of years ago, me and Joey and Richie are sitting at the blackjack table, Richie Vinnie, and I had 16. I tell the dealer to hit me. He flips a 10. I bust. So I just, without even thinking, I just go, "What the are you?" What? And Joey just starts cracking up.
The thing about golf is, had they closed the golf, with this virus, they closed the golf courses. Had they only done that sooner, my marriage might have lasted. Ba boom boom.
Ba boom boom. No.
All right. Oh yeah. Bobby Collins. Shout out to our Bobby Collins.
Yeah, another sweetheart.
Thanks for tuning in. He was on the show. I just,
yes.
We have so many great friends in this community, and
we're all trapped.
We're all trapped. But you know what? We tease about the hell gigs and the people that mess up the business. But I realized during this virus, when we're all shut in, how many people I invite on the show, how much love there is out there, and how much we are a community. We may not see each other for a while because people think, "Oh, do you travel with that group all the time? Are you kidding me? I might work with you 3 weeks in a row." Go, "What? How did that happen?" And not see you for 2 years. That's what happened.
That's right. And
we're all together. Love it.
Before all this happened, a lot of guys were contacting me saying we should do some kind of reunion once a year, just have a weekend, or not a weekend, like a Monday, a Tuesday, somewhere where we could all get together, because we only see each other at funerals and bad things. And it's like, why don't we get together more often?
I'm not going on a golf course with you, so find a better place to have this reunion.
Yeah. You don't play golf, huh? You don't play golf?
Are you kidding me? I can't No.
You can't stand it? Jody hates golf too. That's so funny.
Oh, I do active stuff. Run, hike, tennis, move, bike, bam, bam. All right.
Golf is active.
Yeah, it broke up my marriage. Stop it. It's pain. It's like that lady with the gun. Like, no.
Oh, no, I know. I didn't know you were married to a golfer.
I was working down in Los Angeles, and there was this young kid in Studio City in the suburbs doing his swing. He looked like he was about 12 or 13 doing his swing, practicing. And I'm walking the dog, and I stop him. I go, "Hey, kid, come here. You can practice your swing. You can play golf. But remember, your wife always comes first. Do you hear me?" It's this crazy lady. All right, you guys, don't make me hate you. You know what to do. Go to MaureenLangan.com, MoLangan, don'tmakemehate.you.com. Hey, Vinnie, thanks for hanging with me today.
Hey, this was fun. Thanks for having me. I hope we had moved along. It went really quick. It was an hour. But
we went long, but I don't care. We were hanging. Love your wife. Love to Joe.
Yes, and thanks to everybody who's sent us beautiful support and messages, and so many great people. That's a whole nother show. When the bad stuff happens, boy, the comedy community really comes together.
Right, we do.
I don't want to get choked up, but yeah, it was really everybody stepped up.
His wife is Jody Weiner. And she is just came through, thank God, her third bout with cancer, but really recovering. Can we support you somehow? Is there some way people can support?
Yeah, I'm not going to ask right now. I have a really cool item that someone that does like printing thing gave me these really cool gifts. I'm actually going to start sending them out to some of the people that just have helped. But we're fine. We're going to be fine. We're going to get through this together.
Let me know, and we'll give a shout out right here. We'll promote whatever you need.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be next time. We'll do a whole show with Jody when she feels up to it. How about that?
Can we get her ass out here? I'm done with this.
I know. Yeah.
We need her. We need her voice and her humor.
Yes, she's a little different now. Just to prepare you.
We'll take her any way we can get her.
Yes, absolutely.
Vinnie Mark, thank you so much. People can touch base with you, VinnieMark62@gmail.com, whatever they need.
On Facebook. And I just joined Twitter, by the way. I just tweeted for my first time ever yesterday. I never did Twitter, just so you know.
Wait till they stalk you and rip you apart.
I don't even understand it. I don't understand what it is.
I don't know.
I sent a tweet. I had to send it to the Department of Labor. That's why I'm tweeting.
Vinnie, I don't know what people are doing their news, all the story. I don't know how you follow it. I don't know who's where. I don't know.
Everybody's got a show now, too. Everybody's got a show. And what you got. Look at this. Everyone's got a thing going on. I love it.
I did this I did this 7 years at Bloomberg, 7 years at KJ Radio.
I know.
Yes. So, I'm going to learn this technology and put all the bells and whistles and make it even better.
I have a question for you before we go. When is Mike Bloomberg doing the show for you?
You know what? I sat next to him for 5 years.
I know you did.
I just saw him not that long ago.
I know you did.
I know. Mike Bloomberg, get back to me. I was there for you.
He would do it. He would do it.
I don't know if he would right now. I don't know. But he would do. You know what? I don't know.
He would probably take you golfing for that.
I don't think he golfs. But he treated us very well when we worked for him, very well. All right, you guys, Monday through Friday next week, I'm going to say goodbye to Vinnie. Thank you for being here. All the best.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And what we're going to do next week, I got a great rundown for you. I got Kareth Foster. She's a comic, and she does, she wrote a book, Rather Be Happy Than Perfect. We're going to have how she made the transition into public speaking. I'm going to bring on Al Martin. He's a club owner in New York City. He owns Broadway Comedy Club, the Greenwich Comedy Club. This guy really gave me my start in comedy, and he is a character, and I was afraid of him when I first met him, but a huge heart. So he'll be joining me next week. And then we have the Wine Minx. We're going to talk champagne and bubbles. She's a sommelier with Bernadette Pauly and Al Ducharme. They're a comedy couple. They don't perform together. They're comics who happen to be married. Keith Price, the first out gay guy, African-American on Sirius Radio. So I've got a great lineup for you next week. History professor, PhD, Peter Bales, who's also a comic. We're going to talk history, fun history. And that's it. Have a good weekend. Be kind to each other. Listen to each other. Listen to people's experiences. And we're in a crazy time right now. So be good to each other. Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye. Mwah.